Hey everyone, I'm Heather, the Starlight Priestess, and we're going to do a pick a card reading, but I am going to be in front of the screen today. My office has been kind of ransacked this summer. We don't have air conditioning here where we are in Europe, and so my son, who's on the top floor, the warmest floor, came down into my office. So until my desk is settled, I am going to be doing face-to-face because I can kind of hide the mess. Excuse any noise you hear. We have our vent for our mobile AC unit, and you can kind of hear the traffic out there. It's been a while since I've been on. I took the summer off to spend time with my family and my kids. We're going to get back into it and be doing some pick a card readings. So today's reading is all about what messages the divine wants to come through. And I've selected 3 cards. Now, I am using my personal oracle deck. I created this oracle deck about 3 years ago, and it has been digital for the last 3 years. I have got it printed from a printer I'm not too crazy about. I don't like the way the colors turned out, so I'm still on the hunt for a new printer. But we're going to be using them today. You can get kind of a preview of what the cards look like. You can always download the digital version. I have that information in my profile and on my website. Okay, so let's go with the first pile. Pile 1 is envy. Okay, pile 2 is victim. And pile 3 is faith. And I will take a picture of just the cards. So if you're more of a visual person, would rather look at the cards and see what energy you feel for the piles, you'll have that opportunity. Okay, so go ahead and select your cards, and the timestamps for pile 1, 2, and 3 will be in the description box below. Hello, pile 1. You chose the envy card. Okay, while I'm shuffling, I am going to preview a magazine. It was my pet project about 10 years ago before I had my daughter, and I brought it back. I used to have quite a few writers that were contributing to it. Now it's all me. It's a spiritual magazine. This last month we talked about a summer pagan holiday. September's coming, and we're going to be I'm writing about a lot of shadow work and things like that. So if you are interested, check it out. I will again leave the link in the description box below. And there's lots to learn from it. Okay, so pile 1, what are we getting? We're getting envy and fear. Fear has popped up. Collaborate and travel. Okay, let's see what else is coming up. Okay, I'm getting a feeling like you are wanting to go and do and see. You want something more, but you are kind of relinquishing yourself to like a pre-worn path. You know, like the paths that you go on, they're worn down from, hundreds of people walking on it. And it's like you're following this path. You're living the life of a should. Maybe it's something your parents told you to do. Maybe it's something you've kind of fallen in line with because of societal norms. Something like that. And you're envious of the people that are going and doing and traveling and seeing things. Or maybe there's a place you want to live abroad, and you just want to be in that one place doing a specific thing. But you're kind of stuck. You feel stuck. You feel like that can never be you. And I'm feeling it's because of fear. And it very much links up with this. It's not necessarily collaborate. The card itself is collaborate, but it's a worker bee mentality where you're kind of stuck in this position. You're doing what you're told to do or what you think you should do. And it's because of fear. Fear is holding you back from pursuing something you want to do. It's like when you're with the rest of your hive, you feel safe. You feel like that's what you should be doing. You feel that's the norm. You know, like drone bees and queen bees and worker bees, they all have their very distinct purpose. And it feels like you're in your little purpose, but it's not where you want to be. But it's out of fear. Maybe it's expectations, fear of people's expectations of you, or fear of not knowing what could happen if you changed your path, if you changed your course. But it's fear. And you feel stuck. I feel this longing to go and do something else. Okay, what else is coming up for you? I'm feeling the sacral chakra coming through. It's like these emotions, like something from your inner child, something was programmed into you during your childhood. Okay. Okay, we have black and white. So the message of this card is you're seeing things from black and white. Like these are 3D glasses, right? And when you're in a movie or watching a TV show and you have these 3D glasses on, everything, the screen is 2D. But with these magic glasses, everything comes at you in life, you know, like it's real life, like it's up close and personal. And they're kind of, in a spiritual aspect, these glasses are kind of representing like our limiting beliefs. And when we can break through the limiting beliefs, when we can break through the shoulds, when we can overcome those kind of societal blinders, then we can open ourselves to so much more possibility. I mean, it's like you see everything becomes possible. And we have the hearts, it's a love. This comes from love. This comes from passion. When you connect with your heart, when you connect to yourself on a spiritual level, connect to your soul through your heart, that's where you can see the truth of things. And you're stuck right now in a place of fear. And the thing to overcome fear is love. So you're being guided. They're showing me connecting with your heart to really use your love to overcome that fear that is like a wall preventing you from seeing what is possible for you. And your desires are coming from a soul level. It's like whatever you're wanting to do is part of your soul path, but the fears are stopping you. When you can overcome those fears, when you can work through those fears, when you can show yourself that those fears are not real, are not reality, they're just an illusion, that's when you can work through them, whether you jump over the top of them, you obliterate them, whatever it is you can do, that's when you're going to see the possibilities that open to you. And that's when doors will start opening to you. Okay? And, you know, this is interesting that the miracle card came out with this card. And so I was just talking about love. That is when miracles do happen, is when you can see beyond the fear, when you can see beyond the physical limitations, the limitations of your physical reality, and realize that your physical reality is created from your internal, from your mental reality, the mental pictures that you hold in your head. That is what creates our external world. And so when we can get rid of that programming, those limiting beliefs telling us that this is how we should live, or this is what the way society expects us to live, when we can get rid of those limiting beliefs and when we can overcome that programming, that is when the miracles happen. Okay? And so the message is working through love, working using love to work through those fears and limiting beliefs. And sorry if my eyes are going everywhere. That's the way I think and I see. I can't do very well at looking into my screen and then focusing on what I'm seeing in my head. So that's when my eyes are darting all over the place. So excuse me. Okay, let's see. What else is coming up? Okay. There is magic in you. Magic surrounding you. Okay. What else for pile 1, guides? Indigo child. Okay, some of you may be an indigo child or may have an indigo child in your life. And indigo children are the pattern breakers. There's a certain year, let's see, I was born in 79, so it's like, I think like 60s into the 80s are the years of the indigo children. Indigo children are the ones who are breaking the patterns. We're breaking the patterns of society and norms and spiritual belief systems. Indigo children's job, purpose, is to break down those very structured modalities of thinking and to get people to open themselves to their spiritual truths. And so a lot of indigo children are ADHD. They're people who fight to break down the norms that don't conform to society. And that fits perfectly with your desires to go and do something different, to change up your pattern, to change up your routine, because the indigo children are the ones that don't necessarily conform to those, societal norms, those 9-to-5 jobs, those, maybe societal norms in regards to marriage or relationships or friendships. There's something in you. You were created, you are here to break some kind of pattern, some kind of norm. And it may not be societal, maybe it's in your family. Maybe you were here trying to break some kind of generational karma, generational pattern, generational belief system. And so your job is this is part, getting out and doing something is part of that mission, that purpose that you have here. And so these fears that are coming through, these fears that you have inside of you may not even be your own. They might be passed down from generation to generation to generation. There could be centuries worth of fear and expectations that you are breaking through to release, to break that generational karma. And that this was what you chose before you came into this life. You chose to break that karma for the family that you were born into. And so your calling isn't just about, personal desires. It's actually part of your karma. It is part of your life purpose. Okay, what else is coming up? Let's see, where are we on time? Okay. What else is coming up? Patterns. That word came through. Patterns. Generational trauma, too. Maybe you're breaking generational trauma. Ah, that card wants to come out. Okay. Your story. Okay. Your story. So they're wanting you to look at the words that you use to describe yourself, to describe your family. So some of these words that you might use to describe yourself are perpetuating the pattern, are perpetuating the trauma that has been carried down from generations. Pay attention to the words that you're using to describe yourself, to describe your family, because those words are carrying with them the karma. And so being able to break the pattern on using those words will be another part of the process to break your generational karma. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what else is coming up, guys, for pile 1? Chakra of divine light. Okay, this chakra, so it's one of your upper chakras. It's like a couple, it's the, if this is at the 11th chakra, I believe. I think they all have specific names for them. I just called it what came through to me when I was deeply connected to each of these chakras. So this chakra came through to me as absolute divine light. It's coming straight from the divine. And also what's coming through too is Archangel Metatron. And now I do have another of my cards is actually the chakra for like the Akashic records, but this is even higher than that. And this is coming through. It's illuminating. This light is here to help you illuminate your Akashic records. So it's like there's the access to the Akashic records. But this light is going to help shine a light into so much more. Oh, give me a second. I'm not explaining it very well, how they're showing it to me. So, like, you can access your Akashic records, but this helps illuminate everything within your Akashic records. And so when you connect to this chakra, you're going to be able to see so much more. You're going to be able to see sequences, see things play out. It's like watching a movie. It's almost like a projector showing a movie. And it's going to show you what you need to see. And before you can connect with the chakra, so they're saying to connect to the chakra and ask what you want to see. So it's almost like going into a movie theater. And when you go into the movie theater, you're like, okay, this is the movie I'm going to see. I pay, you pay, you get your ticket, you go into the movie theater. So like before you go into the movie theater, you're going to ask your guides to show you something in particular. Maybe it's about the fear that's following you, following your family through the generations. Maybe it's that fear. What fear do I need to overcome? Maybe it's the history. Maybe it's where it's started. Maybe it's trauma. Whatever it is that's going to help you to overcome either the fears or going to help you break free of that pattern, that karmic pattern. Whatever it is that's going to help you, that is what you're going to ask to be shown, to help you see. Maybe it's going into the future. But that's not something that I can do because this is personal to you. And so my guides are saying just access this chakra and ask what can help you understand what you need to break, what you need to do, how you need to heal the past to help break your family free and yourself as well. I hope that made sense. Sometimes the messages that come through are very confusing. Okay, lenses of love. This card means looking at everything through rose-colored glasses. If you've ever heard the song La Vie en Rose, this is all about that. It's seeing things through lenses of love and perfection and beauty. Life is not that, obviously, but when you can see things from an aspect of love, from an aspect of compassion, it helps you sometimes to understand why people do the things that they do. Now, granted, there are some absolutely atrocious things happening in the world, and not all of it we can understand. But there is compassion to be found sometimes in dealing with stuff in our own lives. Whether it's our irritating boss or, backstabbing friends or whoever it is. Looking at things with compassion will change the way things unfold in your life. So remember I said earlier that our inner environment determines our external environment. The way our thoughts and our programming and our beliefs will there's so much into this, and we can go in deep. I'm not going to go down the explanations today because it takes way too long. But basically, physics can teach us that what we think, we create in our external world. And so when we approach people, when we approach situations from an aspect of compassion or love or understanding, then we can change the way we create in our external environment. And so your situation, maybe this is all kind of very family and karmic energy. Maybe there's some pain that's been in your family. Maybe there's been some trauma. Maybe there's been some, people in your family that you don't get along with or that have done some not nice things. And holding grudges, holding on to that pain and that anger and that resentment continues the way that you create your environment. Whereas finding gratitude, finding love in some of your experiences, even the most difficult trauma, you can find gratitude and you experienced it and it taught you something. And by changing that view to a place of love or gratitude actually can help you change the way you see other people and create your environment. Hopefully that's making sense. I apologize if it's not. But you're being asked to kind of change your perspective. It's like looking at your parents who maybe were not very nice. Maybe they were abusive. Maybe they were narcissistic. And just seeing for what they were, maybe they came from an unhealthy background. Maybe they were living with the karma that you're dealing with and they just couldn't handle it the way you could. And it may not be necessarily forgiving them, because we all have to own up to the way we reacted or the way we created situations. We have to take ownership for our actions, but understanding that they are hurt as well can help you release your pain and move forward. And that sometimes helps you move through fear and move through limiting beliefs and stagnancy that has kept you held back. And I only say we have to look at our past and try to release that energy, not because the people shouldn't be held accountable, but because it blocks you from moving forward. Okay? And I know forgiveness is a terribly difficult thing, and there are people in my life I can't forget, but I'm working through trying to release the pain from it because I know it's just keeping me held back, keeping me stuck. So it's an ongoing process, and don't expect it to happen overnight. It's just the way life is. We have to work through a lot of things in order to sometimes forgive or at least release the pain. As long as you're making progress doing it, it's going to be helping you, okay? It's going to help you to release energy and become a little unstuck. Okay, let's do one more card. One last card for pile one, guys. Okay, closing card, closing bit of information. Okay, perfection. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, perfection. This card, you can see there's like two roads, okay? Over here we have our societal ideals heading to the city. It's like patterns, it's that collaborate mentality, that worker bee mentality, okay? You're living up to the ideals of society or your family or whatever it is. Whereas this is where your passion lies, this is the road. This is the road where your passion lies. Home. This is your feeling of home. This is your feeling of what's comfortable to you and what you love. Perfection, sometimes when we're living up to the ideals of others, is seen as, being a worker bee, living in this, concrete jungle, or working at this job, this 9 to 5, doing this specific thing. And that doesn't resonate with you, but that's perfect in other eyes. Get rid of the idea of perfection. There is no perfection. None of us are perfect. What you have to do is live what's perfect for you, okay? So this is what's perfect for you versus perfect for other people. You want to live by what's perfect for you, right? That's where you're going to be happy. That's where you should be living. That's where you should be happy and content. And so get rid of ideals of perfection. Get rid of ideals of doing what's perfect for other people and ignoring what's perfect for you. Okay? That's the very last point. I am going to close it out here. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments below. If you like this reading, please give me a like. And if you'd like to see more of my readings, please hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful week and come back and see me again for more readings. Hello, Pile 2. Okay, you chose the Victim card. Before we get into this, I'm going to start shuffling, but I wanted to tell everyone about a little pet project that I have that is back online. About 10 years ago, I was publishing a spiritual magazine. I had quite a few writers writing for me. This time, I decided to start it over again because all of the last versions were destroyed. So I decided to start over again. I am just writing by myself this time. The magazine is called Lotus Moon. The link will be in the description box below. If you are a writer and would like to contribute, or a spiritual person and would like to contribute, or if you would like to be featured, please let me know. Comment or email me. Okay, so what is coming up for the Victim card? What is your message, guides, for the Victim? Ooh. Okay, we have Rainbow. Okay, what else is coming up? The rainbow always signifies like something after a storm. There's always a rainbow after a storm. Surrender. Lots of colors going on here. Okay, hardships. That word keeps coming through. Hardships. Oh, okay. Okay. Manifest. We have a lot of rainbow coming through. We have the rainbow, the surrender. Oh, we have limiting beliefs. Let's see, where are we starting? Okay, what it feels like, interesting, this is very close, the energy is very closely resembling pile 1, but it feels like you're stuck. You're stuck, and you're on a path lined with limiting beliefs. Stories. You're stuck by the stories that you've been told. It's like the stories that you lived through. It's a victim mentality. Your story, you're writing your own story, and it's a victim mentality. You've had some bad things happen to you. You've had some traumas, and that is controlling how you're living your life. You're basically, manifesting. That makes sense. Okay. So let me see if I can. So see all the pictures in this card? You're basically this card over on top of this card. But the person here that's manifesting these beautiful things is actually the person that is stuck in this cage. And it's a victim mentality. And so what you're creating, see, this person is creating, you know, beauty and success and a home and love and a car and, you know, spirituality, whatnot. But what you're creating is things that are based on the victim mentality. So that's where this card comes in with these limiting beliefs. Okay? So you're being blocked. What you're creating are based on these words. So like, you know, I just can't get anywhere in life. I don't have the education. I will be judged for being myself. I'm not smart enough. I'm not lucky. He will break my heart. She will break my heart. I'm not attractive enough. It's like this very negative self-talk from your victim cage is what's controlling your life. This storm, there's a storm happening in your life, or it's going to be happening in your life. But I think what I'm feeling is that it is happening in your life. That's why the rainbow is coming out. And it's interesting because we have the rainbow surrounding this heart, this surrender. And I tell you, I am in that place, okay? I've had to quit my job. I've lost friends. I've lost positions. And just recently, I lost my mobility after blowing out my knee in the ziplining accidents. But anyway, so on my birthday, I was incredibly depressed because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I was in pain. And so I was feeling very bad. And I heard surrender. I kept hearing surrender. And that's in the place I'm at. There's stuff coming. I know, I can feel it. There's good things coming, but sometimes you have to let go of everything that you were holding on to from a previous life, not like a physical life, but just like a previous belief system. Sometimes you have to let go of all of it in order for what's destined for you to come in, okay? And a lot of times what has to go are everything that was created by these limiting beliefs, okay? So maybe you had friendships or relationships. You clung to these people, and they could have been toxic relationships, but you clung to these people because they aligned with the truth you thought about yourself. Like, I'm not good enough, so I'm going to hang out with these people that also don't think they're good enough, or that treat me like I'm not good enough, because that's what I align with. That's all I know. That's my ego self. That's what I'm comfortable with. But the friendships are taken away because the universe knows better. Your higher self knows better. Your guides know better, that you are so much more than how you're being treated. And so the friendships end, the relationships end because they are not right for you. They are not good for you. Okay? Same thing with a job. Same thing with maybe physical aspects of yourself. Okay? So what's coming through is that you're in this place where you have to surrender. You're in this place where things are coming for you. See, that's why there's the rainbow behind here, and we have the rainbow following the storm. Look at how the clouds line up. The rainbow is coming, but you have to surrender. And when you're in that place of the rainbow, when the rainbow is out, this is when you can actually create and manifest the things that are perfectly designedly matched for you. That's when you can create all these beautiful things that you know that you are worthy of. Okay? When you're in this space, you're creating things that are not worthy of you. You may think they are. You may think that's where you fit and that's where you're supposed to be, but that the universe knows better. Your guides know better. Your higher self knows better. Okay? So this is the place you're in right now. And it's not a fun place to be in. As I said, I am right in that place with you. So let's see what else falls out of the deck. Okay? What else is coming for, or what other messages do you have for pile 2 guides? Okay. So I'm hearing I'm hearing the words better things are on the way. They're coming. And that makes me want to cry because I'm pretty sure all of you are in that same place. You want to cry in hope, with hope. Oh, the dark night of the soul. There we are. That's where we're at. We're in the dark night of the soul. Okay? And judgment. But it's another message. We are going into eclipse season. This is a time where we need to reflect, okay? And in my magazine, I have a write-up for the eclipse season and what the energy is. So if you want to learn more about the eclipse season and things that we can do through the eclipse season, make sure to look through my September issue, which I will be publishing soon. Okay. But the dark night of the soul is when we go dark, is when basically what they're showing me is everything is blank on the outside, where we almost have to remove ourselves from life and from everything else because there is so much change happening. There's so much shifting in our external energy because there's so much shifting internally. And the universe is actually, what they're saying is the universe is trying to keep up with all the shifts that are happening inside of you. The universe is trying to, it's bending and shifting and fluxing, and it's trying to create. And even though we're not necessarily trying to manifest anything specific at this time, or even if we're not, maybe some of you are, but the universe is trying to shift things into place of what is right for you. And so you're being asked to completely step back from trying to manifest. Take a break. Just go inward. Find something, like go into hiding almost. Find something that you love to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be like hiding. Like if you loved being outdoors and hiking, then go do that. Just stop manifesting. Stop trying to control. Stop trying to jerry-rig things to figure out what the hell's going on in your life because you feel like it's all falling apart and you're losing control. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's where you're at. That's where you need to be because the universe is working outside. And so you need to get out of its way, basically. And so this dark night of the soul is asking you to basically shut everything off and go inward, okay? And that's kind of what this judgment card is saying too, is because the judgment card is looking inside of yourself, okay? So you have this person that is looking at another person and they're seeing themselves in that person. So if you're being triggered by other people, by situations, it's not necessarily by that person or by the situation itself. It's how you see yourself in that person or that situation. And so by kind of taking a step back, you may not be able to absolutely go into hiding, but pay attention because everything that you're seeing or interacting with in your world is kind of like an internal reflection, okay? You're being guided to see what you need to work on, what you need to change, what you need to heal inside of yourself by seeing these aspects in other people and situations. So if you're being triggered by people, if you're being triggered by situations, it's just a reflection of what is happening inside of you. Okay, so like anger. If you're really irritated by people getting angry at the flip of a switch, how do you see that in yourself? How are you getting irritated at other people or at situations? And how can you reflect that back onto yourself? Hopefully that makes sense. But that's the process you're going through right now. And it may continue through eclipse season, okay? So our first eclipse is September 7th, 8th, and then our second eclipse is September, I believe it's September 22nd, and September 21st is the equinox, or maybe I got the dates flipped, but they're right next to each other. And eclipse season, always go for about 2 weeks prior to the eclipse and about 2 weeks after the second eclipse. So about 30, give or take 30 days 6 weeks, something like that. And that energy is still strong during that time period. So we are now in the eclipse energy with the first, because it's August 22nd. So we're in that eclipse energy with the first eclipse being September 7th, 8th. So this may be a very tumultuous time, maybe a challenging time, because the equinox energy is really gearing up. Equinox energy really shows us what we need to change, what we need to get rid of, what we need to release, what we need to heal. And sometimes there's going to be some really shocking things that come about during eclipse season. And so it's kind of like, hold on to your hats. What are we gearing up for? You know, this may be like a roller coaster over the next few weeks, but it's all to help you go through this dark night of the soul and find out who you really are and really connect with who you really are from a soul level. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what other cards come up. Okay, guys, what else would you like to share with pile 2? Energy, volume, voluminous energy. What is that? Cool. Interesting. Okay, so what they're showing me, okay, it's like a hair curl. So, you know, those little, you know, I don't know, if you grew up in the 80s, you're familiar with perms, and remember those teeny tiny little spiral curl perms? You just pull on it. Some people have those beautiful curls naturally, but you pull on a curl and it just springs back up. That's what they're showing me. And it's what they're saying is that it's kind of like a curl springing back. Be ready to adjust. If something comes along and like flattens you, like kind of brush it off, just spring back into place. The energy may feel, I don't really like this analogy, but the energy might kind of flatten you or take the wind out of your sails, I guess, over the next few weeks through eclipse season. But they're saying you just you have to let go of it. It is creating change at a level that we're not really perceptive to. And so let this stuff roll off your back. Okay, can you give me a card or something to explain this a little bit more? Just let it go. It's not something we're privy to know about. Oh, I am getting so many images and I don't understand any of them. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, so they're showing me like things that are happening. So time is not linear. Time is loops and layers, and I don't understand any of it. And I don't think humans can. I don't think we necessarily have that ability. But they're showing me like when something changes, like it's like a loop of time, and maybe something is flattened, but something is you're changing on different levels. So it's like so there's different realities. We have different realities. When we make choices, sometimes they'll split. One choice is this way. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow a long time ago. Anyway, so it's like she made a choice and you created one reality and another reality. And so it's like something that's happening to you during eclipse season is not just happening to you in this reality. It's happening to you on, I don't know, however many realities there are, and across different times, like past lives, but not really past lives, but different realities. And there's so much I don't understand about that, and I don't think we're meant to. But that's why my guides are saying just roll with it. Kind of roll with the punches. If you feel something go flat, or just let go. And I think that's the importance of surrender right now, because your life is being changed in more ways than you can comprehend. And it is for your highest good. But fighting it and trying to control the situations is going to like have a ripple effect in a very, not, I don't want to say negative way, but not in a positive way. So just, you're being instructed to roll with the punches. Root chakra. Fears. That's what there's. Okay, some fears, even some childhood fears, may be coming to the surface during eclipse season. They are things for you to work, and that's interesting because we have this, the rose. The rose is red. They're bringing me back to this rose. It is, your gifts will spring from your fears. Oh, that's actually this is another thing in the Lotus Moon September edition, is talking about your gifts from your shadow aspects. Okay, we all have a light and dark. Our ego or shadow self are the things about ourselves that we kind of hide, that we don't like about ourselves, that we were taught not to like. They hold us back sometimes, or we think they do. But a lot of times, those shadow aspects are actually where our gifts lie, our spiritual gifts. And so this is something to investigate during eclipse season. While you're in your state of surrender, go into your shadow aspects, your ego, the things you don't like about yourselves, the things that you fear, the things that you were told not to show to the world. Because the root chakra really represents like our safety and our ability to survive. It's our gut basic survival instincts. And for you, pile 2, there is something in there for you that relates to your strengths, actually. Your spiritual gifts lie in this connection, in your root chakra, in your shadows. So the things that you're afraid of, like if you're afraid of being without money, if you're afraid of food, or afraid you're not going to get enough, there's a link here. There's a link to your gifts, or maybe accessing your ability to access your gifts is walking through those fears and healing those fears. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Where are we on time? We're at 21 minutes, so let's do one final card. Okay, guys, what final message would you like to share with pile 2? Final message. What is one final card you would like to share with pile 2? How can we close out the message to pile 2? Okay. Black and white. I had this card in pile 1. There's a lot of similarities. If you're at all attracted to pile 1, maybe take a look at it. Okay. Looking at your situation in a different light. Okay. If you are familiar with 3D glasses, that's what we have here, 3D glasses. Everything comes in kind of flat and 2D. Everything comes out into our lenses as 3D and colorful and beautiful. It's almost like the Wizard of Oz movie, where she takes off in black and white from Kansas and lands in Oz in Technicolor. So this is the message, is that your perception of something is very 2D, is very black and white. But there is so much more beneath the surface that you're not seeing. And changing your perspective will help you see a lot more about the whole situation, okay? But this is very specific to you. And so your guides are asking you to meditate. And some people can't visualize. I don't understand that, because I'm clairvoyant, so I see and everything is in my head. So I don't quite understand how to describe it if you can't visualize. But maybe you can see or sense or feel what they are trying to get across to you, what message is needing to be felt by you. But there's something more to a situation in your life. Maybe it's just your life in general. Maybe it's a specific situation or a person or a job or something like that. But there is something more that they want you to see, that they want you to understand, that they want you to get. And so however you can do that with meditation, maybe even drawing or journaling, maybe that's a way for you to get this information that works for you. But whatever works for you, there's more. And ask your guides to show you. That's what you're being asked. Because it is very specific to you, so I can't get into it because there's way too many possibilities. But that's your last message. There's more to your situation that you need to see from a different perspective, from a different angle. And you have to ask your guides to show you that. Okay, we're going to end the reading there. I hope it made sense. If you liked it or you have any comments, please leave me a comment below. If you liked it, click that like button. If you'd like to see more of my readings, please subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful week and weekend, and I will see you back here soon for more readings. Hey, Pile 3. If you chose Pile 3, you chose the Faith card. So let me start shuffling and see what comes out while I'm shuffling. I want to let you know that I have a magazine. I publish a magazine. It's called Lotus Moon. It's something that I started 10 years ago, and I stopped doing it because I had my daughter. But I have brought it back online. I have published the August edition, and the September edition is coming out soon. So the September edition is going to be all about light and dark, shadow and light within us, and then we'll have some additional fall fun articles. It should be on my website. I will link it in the description box below, but I know Pile 2, there were quite a few things that Pile 2 could benefit from reading in the magazine, so we'll see what shakes out for you as well. Okay, so sacral chakra. Okay, what else is coming up for Pile 3? Faith. Now, I will say that we are now in eclipse season. The first eclipse is September 7th, 8th, followed by a second eclipse on September 21st or 22nd. It's around the equinox, and one is on one date and the other is on the other date, and I keep mixing them up, so my apologies. But it's the equinox and the eclipse back to back. So the energy can really come in and shake things up, and that's what I was really feeling for Pile 1 and 2. There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of up and downs, there's a lot of roller coaster moments over probably the next month. So hang in there. Okay, Pile 3. Falling on the sword. That's what's coming through. Falling on the sword. Okay, we have carousel. That has to do with karma. Okay, indigo child. We had this in Pile 1. Not sure if you resonated with Pile 1. Okay, moonlight. Okay, let's start with these and see what I'm feeling. There's a shift. Moonlight, light and dark, karma. There's something from your past. So when I created this card, I was really seeing like witches dancing under the moonlight, naked with, flower crowns. Sorry, I'm backwards here. Flower crowns, and just really delving into and really embracing the feminine energy. And that's what I'm feeling too with this karma, but this karma it's not coming up as like karma, it's coming up as like going into the past. And faith, it's kind of like letting go, surrendering. And it's almost like a new path is coming forward for you. And it's 3:33 p.m. My husband just texted, and it's 3:33 on August 22nd. 3 3s and 2 2s. That's awesome. 3 3s and 2 2s. Okay. Sorry, covering the microphone. 2s for me really signify path, like a soul path, and your soul, connection to your soul. 3s are really like your heart-centered. That's what's coming through anyway. Like, they represent the ascended masters, but the energy that's really coming through is like our heart are really embracing. I mean, ascended masters are humans. They lived a human life and they ascended, and their connection to their soul, our connections to our soul, is through our heart. And 2s is like a soul energy, really soul connection, higher self. And it's that connection, it's moving through the heart into our soul, our divine path, our divine light, our divine purpose. And that's what's really coming through here for you. This is very, very spiritual. It's a very spiritual reading. It's a very like ascended. And it's interesting because we did get the indigo child. So your path is very divine. It's very off the beaten path. You might have lived the life of a witch in a past life, or been a healer of some sort, or a medicine person. You may have been persecuted for that. Maybe that would make sense for this falling on the sword that I heard earlier. Like it's like you fell from grace because of your purpose. But this karma now I'm seeing the karma. You fell on your sword. You were persecuted in a past life, and you're reliving that energy now. And you're stuck because you're reliving that energy. But you have a very, very divine purpose. And so this karma is kind of like holding you back. It's like what they're showing me is like there's a person, and it's like there's someone behind you holding your shoulders, like preventing you from moving forward. And it's that karma. It's that karmic energy. It's that karma like trailing after you and keeping you held back. And it feels like things are falling into place for you, falling apart to fall together. Okay, let's see what else comes up. There's so many messages there. Let me see what else. Let me see what else is coming forward so my brain can maybe focus on one thing. Okay. It's really embracing. It's like what they're saying is they're showing me taking a step back from life over the next few weeks through eclipse season, like taking a step back and really embracing your femininity. So, and this could be it doesn't matter, male or female, whatever you are. It's this divine energy. You have to take a step back from everything in your external environment to go within, and that's the feminine energy. It's like a very retreated inward versus masculine energy is a more go energy, external energy. So they're showing me you kind of retreating inward over the next few weeks through eclipse season, as things transition for you, as this karma, because there's some things you're going to have to work through, and that's the karma. And it's kind of your job right now to work through this karma. So after eclipse season, things can start to move for you again. Okay, crown chakra. A lot of information is incoming to you. Okay, there's a lot of messages that are coming into you. Okay, so this is the time to take a step back from anything that's distracting. So watching TV, spending a bunch of time with friends or people, or spending a bunch of extra time at work or social media, or traveling or anything like that. Like traveling with friends or a bunch of people. Obviously, if you have a family, do what you can to get yourself some quiet time. But there's a lot of incoming messages for you that you need to hear, because it's going to help you align and understand what is going on in your life. Rainbow. Okay, rainbow and limiting beliefs. Okay, these came up in pile 2. So maybe pile 2 resonates with you. If it doesn't, just ignore me. Okay, so storm. I'm sorry. Okay, everything is backwards on my computer, so bear with me. So after a storm, we get rainbows, right? If the sun comes out, you're walking a path right now and you're working through the limiting beliefs. So that's what we have, this karmic energy that we talked about, okay? This karmic energy you have from maybe you were persecuted or other past lives, things like that. Things didn't go well for you in that life. And that's what you've held on to. Those beliefs, those thoughts. It's I don't have the education for this, or I can't get anywhere in my life. I'm stuck. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. He or she will break my heart. I'm just, I'm unlucky. Stuff like that. It's like those weird thoughts that we have repeating in our head over and over again. And they're limiting beliefs that tell us, not tell us, but that basically keep us held back. They keep us on a path. And if you can see in this card, there's a wall. It's breaking. We get to this point where we can't go any further until we break down the wall, and we only break down the wall by getting rid of those negative beliefs and that negative self-talk. And all of that is coming from your karma, from the karmic situation that happened however long ago. And so that's what we're breaking through for you over the next few weeks during this eclipse season. So this rainbow, the sun is going to come out. You're going to get your rainbow moment. You're going to get your, beautiful life, but you have to go through this kind of tumultuous, stormy time period to get there. And you need to do the work. That's the most important thing. If you're sitting, living your life and you're like, I hate my life, I have all these places where I'm stuck, I hate myself, I hate this, then you're not doing the work. The work is going to be, okay, I hate this. Why do I hate this? Ooh, let's go down this rabbit hole. Let's figure out why I'm stuck. Let's figure out why I'm dissatisfied. Let's figure out why I have this very negative belief about myself. How can we heal it? That's the work I'm talking about. That's the work that helps you get unstuck, because you are delving into your soul, into your past, into your history, into these mental patterns that keep you stuck in a reality that is not one that you've created for yourself, that has been created for you from the beliefs and experiences of others that have been forced on you. Okay? I hope that all makes sense. That was a moment of soapbox. Okay, what else is coming up for pile 3, guys? Okay, what else is coming up for pile 3? Elevate. Elevate your thoughts. Yes, exactly. Okay, now I will say this. This card does not come without a warning. Do not elevate your thoughts to toxic positivity. Okay, I hate that. And again, I will jump on my soapbox. There are so many people out there that just say, be positive, be positive, positive thoughts, think positive. Yes, great, think positive. But if you are programmed to think a certain way, like I am worthless, thinking positive just isn't going to do it for you, because that belief is so ingrained in you that by saying, I'm not worthless all the time, it's not necessarily going to fix it. You have to do the work to reprogram that thought, that belief pattern, okay? So when I'm saying elevate your thoughts, it's going through the process to figure out how you can elevate your thoughts. And also, sometimes one of the easiest ways to do this is through gratitude, okay? Instead of being, angry at something, say you didn't get a job, okay? One way to reframe that is to be grateful for the universe protecting you. Be grateful for your guides protecting you from a position that was not right for you, okay? This is gratitude, being grateful for something that you can actually believe in. Because if you have the negative self-talk or a negative belief that you suck, that's not easily changed. But what you can change or what you can elevate thought-wise is ways that you can understand how to reframe. Okay, that didn't make sense. Okay, it's reframing in ways that you can understand it, okay, or ways that you can believe it. Hopefully that makes sense. So, it's really hard for you to reprogram your thoughts, and you can do it. There's lots of processes out there, like tapping. Tapping is a really good way to help reprogram your mental things. There's a lot of other ways to do this, and I'm not going to get into it now. But until you do that work, approaching things with gratitude will help elevate, because you can be grateful for, okay, like my office is a mess right now because my son had to sleep down here during the summer because it was really hot. So my office is a mess, but I can say, you know what? I am so grateful for my crystals. I am grateful for the beauty of my crystals and the sun shining on my crystals today. Even in all the mess, I'm still grateful that I have all of my beautiful crystals. Okay? So finding gratitude in something is elevation in a form that you can believe, versus saying, I am so beautiful, and you deep down, that's absolute bullshit because you don't think you're beautiful. Even if you are, it's just that belief pattern. So avoid toxic positivity, elevate your thoughts how you can. And so you're not focusing on the negative things that are happening to you, because there is a lot of shit that may be coming at you over the next few weeks of eclipse season. And if you can find a way to create positive energy, even in those situations of challenges and difficulties, then you are going to be in a very healthy place to accomplish your healing, the healing that you're being asked to do. Okay? I hope all that made sense. Okay. If it didn't make sense or you have questions, just leave a question in the comment below and I will explain it. Sometimes my brain is seeing things and I can't explain things verbally as well because of what I'm seeing. Okay. Sensuality and miracles. Okay, sensuality. For some of you, it may be getting in touch with your body. Now, this is not necessarily sex or anything like that. It could just be experiencing things. Sometimes we are so up in our head that we lose sight of actually living in this world. And while there's a lot happening around you over the next few weeks, stepping back from, stepping back from the thinking, stepping out of your brain and into feeling is going to help you. And so this is like using your senses, okay? So it's not just sex, but it's using all of your senses. It's your sacral chakra kind of, it's like your inner child. You know, when you go into a store, you just want to touch everything. Like everything is soft or it's shiny or it's squishy. And your child, your inner child just wants to like play with everything. But you were taught, don't touch anything, you know, it'll break, or, you know, don't touch it unless you're going to buy it. Well, this is your chance to really touch and feel. You know, go out into nature and touch the trees. Or if you have a fluffy rug in your house, lay down on your rug and just touch it. You know, taste things that you haven't tasted before and you're really interested in tasting things. Or put on music to listen and to really, really embrace, you know, dance. Watch things that are beautiful. Like, you know, take this card. You know, maybe you've seen this card or a book in your house or something in your house 1,000 times, but you know, this over the next few weeks to take the time to really look at it and be like, oh, wow, that's really neat. You know, really indulge your senses over the next few weeks. Get out of your head, get out of your brain, get out of your mind and preconceived notions, and just indulge your senses. And that's feelings too. And so if that, you know, if physical pleasure is part of that, then do it. Call to that. I would just recommend that you do not use physical pleasure as an escape, because that can be kind of like an addiction, like alcohol or drugs or shopping or gambling or any one of those other things. Sex can also be an addiction. So just be mindful of that. Okay. The miracles. Now, I mentioned in the sensuality card about the inner child, right? Sometimes miracles happen when you are least expecting it, when you are kind of zoned out or not wishing for something, not wanting something. You kind of forget about the things that you want. You forget about the things that you want to manifest. And all of a sudden, a miracle's in your lap. Miracles happen when you are happy, when you are distracted, when you are in a state of gratitude. And this is going to help you. This, you know, really living in the moment is going to put you in that state of miracles. Now, the little face I made a little while ago when I was like, oh yeah. So when I first started, something was showing. It was on the bottom, it was a card on the bottom of the deck, but I just kind of ignored it, but I knew I shouldn't have. That is this card. Be present. That is exactly what this card is. And it's even repeated. It's kind of repeated in the karma with the mirrors. So I knew I should have allowed that card to come out, but of course I didn't listen to my intuition. That's what got at me. Anyway, so this being in the present is all about this card. It's experiencing life and enjoying life for what it is within you. And it is being in this moment and really living. And that's what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to have faith that things are going to work out the way you want them to work out, okay? There's all sorts of maybe tumultuous things happening. There's challenges and difficulties and things going on around you. But you're being asked to take a step back, get out of your head, cut out distractions, you know, and feel. And that's also living in the present and enjoying things is how you're going to elevate your thoughts as well, naturally, not like forcing it. And that is when miracles occur, okay? So you might not see, you know, change or miracles while we're in eclipse season, but eclipse season is kind of like Mercury retrograde. It just, things kind of slow down and stop. And I mean, there's a lot happening, there's a lot going on, but like forward progress in life is sometimes halted because there's so many other things happening and kind of falling into place as these major shifts happen. So eclipses are fantastic. They can bring all sorts of crazy, but they bring about miracles too. Okay, so we're at about 22 minutes, so let's pull one more card. Guides, let's give pile 3 one closing card for their message. Okay. Okay, what is that? Perfection. This is, I think, the closing card for pile 2. So, once again, if you have any kind of connection to pile 2, go ahead and listen to it because there's a lot of similarities. Okay, so perfection. This is basically telling you to get rid of perfection. Perfection is an ideal, and none of us are perfect. We are as far as, you know, others. We're not perfect compared to others. We are perfect for ourselves, and that's what you need to look for. That's what you need to find. Okay, so we have over here, we have this path, the societal ideal path, and we have the heart path. I'm not sure if you can see it necessarily, but yeah, you have the heart and you have the ideals, and you're going to this concrete jungle where there's smog and there's, you know, 9-to-5 jobs, and there's all these, you know, where you have to fit into this persona given to you by either society or your family or something like that, versus this other little path here that is heart-centered. That is your heart path. That is your desired path. That is where your soul is guiding you to go into that path so you can live a soul-based life. Okay, so that is your perfect. Your perfect aligns with your heart, not what others want you to be. And that is where you need to be. And so if you're having some tumultuous things, some challenges coming up through eclipse season, the universe and your guides are trying to align you with this heart-centered path and get you off that highway to what you think you should be doing, because it doesn't align. Okay? Okay. I'm sending you lots of love, pile 3. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. You'll find more information about personal readings with me in the description box, along with a link to my magazine and my website. If you like this reading, please click that like button. If you'd like to see more readings from me, please hit that subscribe. Since my kids are back in school, I am able to do this more often now. So I'm sending you lots of love. I will see you back here soon for more readings.